What's up, YouTube? It's PinoE here, and for today we're going to turn our calendars back to 1990 and take a look at the history of the Air Jordan 5. In total, there have been over 40 releases of this shoe, so we don't have any time to waste. Lego! Let's start with some basics before we dive into the colorways. The Air Jordan 5 released in 1990. It was Michael Jordan's fifth signature model and the third pair to be designed by Tinker Hatfield, who got his design inspiration from a World War II Mustang fighter plane. The Air Jordan 5 also brought us some firsts. It was the first basketball shoe to have 3M reflective material, and the first pair to have a clear outsole, and the first pair to have a molded ankle collar. It was in this season, in this shoe, that MJ brought the Bulls to the franchise's best record since joining the team, finishing 55-27 and draining 92 three-pointers. Prior to the season, he only had 68 threes in all his seasons combined. Also, everyone seems to know about MJ's 23 and 45, but did you know that for one game he wore number 12? Before a game in Orlando, his 23 jersey went missing. The Bulls didn't bring a backup on the trip, so he had to wear an extra kit with the number 12. The model originally dropped in 4 colorways, and it was a hit. The first two to release for $125 were the white, black, fire red, and the black metallics, followed shortly by the white grapes and fire red, white, red pairs. All pairs released with Nike Air on the heel, and the only pair to release with the 23 stitched on the side of the back heels were the fire red, white, red pairs. While some people were worrying about Y2K, Jordan Brand was planning their drops, and the first pair to release from Jordan Brand in the new millennium were the Air Jordan 5 Fire Reds. January 5th, 2000 would be the first time the Air Jordan 5 would be retroed, followed by a release of the black metallics in March. The first Retro Plus colorways of the shoe also released this year, and they were the Laney's and white metallics, and both had the 23 stitched on the side. 2006 would be the next time a Jordan 5 would release, and this time prices would start climbing up to $145 retail. It was a big year for the model. 10 pairs would release, 2 in OG colorways, and 8 Retro Plus colorways. So 2006 would be the first time we saw a retro of the white grapes and fire reds, but we saw a bunch of new colorways which are now classics. Colorways like the green bean, undefeated 5, burgundy 5s, they weren't original colorways. So next time you say Jordan needs to stop bringing trash colorways out and stick to the OGs, you should remember that some of these grails of yours, they started off as Retro Plus colorways. Also to release this year were the black University Blue Lifestyle 5s, the women's Sunset colorway, the Stealth 5, the women's Pink Stealth, and the first 5 low to release, which was the women's White University Blue. Nike kept things rolling in 2007 when they dropped 3 more pairs. Probably my least favorite 5 was this laser pair, which was followed by a retro black metallic. If you've been watching this series, you know that no history of the Air Jordan model could be complete without Nike fuckery, and this is where it started. Say hello to the Jumpman and 23 stitch on an OG pair. And last to release in 07 was another pair of women's lows in a white metallic colorway. The volume of releases slowed down in 08 and 09, but Nike dropped some packs that kept collectors wanting more. The CDP 5s dropped in 2008, followed by the Raging Bull pack, which released in 2009 for $310. 2009 saw one more pair release, and those were the Retro 5 Cinders, and by this time retail on a single pair was up to $150. I said it earlier and I'll repeat it. Stop complaining about non-OG colorways. No pairs released in 2010, but 2011 dropped some of the most sought after and expensive 5s. The Bins, Tokyos, Wolf Grey, Key 54, and Independence Day 5s all released, along with another retro of the black metallics. Retail in 2011 stayed at $150. There weren't any 5s to release in 2012, but Nike made up for it in 2013 when they dropped 12 more pairs. In 2013, prices went up a little more and retail was now at $160. This year we saw 3 original colorways retroed, both white fire red pairs and the white grapes. But Nike also introduced a few new colorways, including the black grapes, the Fear 5s, and they also released, which are probably my second favorite DB, the Dornbecker 5s. Following the release of the Dornbeckers, Nike Lab dropped their first Jordan 5, which was followed with the second pair later in the year, and we also saw the Shanghai 5s, Bel Air 5s, and a re-release of the Laney's and introduction of the Oreo 5s. 2014 only saw one more Nike Lab pair release. 2015 saw a number of non-OG colorways drop, but it was also the first time an Air Jordan 5 Low would be released for men. 2016 is here, and for the first time in a long while, the black metallic 5s was retroed with Nike Air on the back, and those dropped for $220, which was followed by the gold metallics, and the bronze metallics are releasing this weekend, September 24th, for $190. We've reached the end of the history of the 5, and when I started this video, I said there were over 40 pairs of the shoe to release. Well, before I go, I'd like to correct myself because it's actually over 50. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe, join the squad. If you have something to say, leave it in the comments below, and I'm out!